From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 10 o'clock news.
Good evening, I'm Russ Riesinger. Thanks for joining us on this Friday night. Fear over COVID-19 has forced many of Montana's traditional summertime events to cancel, but tonight one that has been around for generations kicked off a little early. Taking a live look at the fairgrounds from our iCam, tonight the Montana Fair got underway, one of just a handful of fairs that are still being held in the state. The fair usually draws tens of thousands of people each day, but this year all of the live entertainment, the exhibits are canceled, and there are a lot of other changes as well. Would people still come out, and how are they feeling about safety measures? We sent Q2's Krista Rose out there to find out.
Good evening, everybody. The Montana Fair is underway here in Billings at Metro Park. Gates opened at 4 p.m. and a few hundred people did actually show up to take part in the carnival. Everybody, of course, taking safety precautions, including the folks working here at the event. Everybody in masks, but most people in very good spirits.
Yeah, I think the staff is going above and beyond to keep everybody safe. They're sanitizing everything multiple times, and they're offering hand sanitizer before and after all the games and all the rides.
They put safety and fun together. First you have to grab the darts, then
safety and fun together. Good one, Amy.
Well, we wanted to check it out, and see what was here, maybe at least win, maybe, get some stuff that they used to have that they don't have anymore, and maybe try some food, but there's not really much here to enjoy.
There's nothing here.
We were considering not coming with everything that's going on, but how can you say no to these faces?
Of course, as we've been reporting all week, there are heightened safety regulations at the Montana Fair this year, so please be sure to check those before you come. Of course, the main one, wearing a mask. Make sure you do so if you're coming down here to the fair. And if you don't feel well, please do not come to the fair. For more information, head over to our website, ktvq.com. Back to you guys in the studio.
All right, thanks, Chris. And this year the fair is starting earlier. This was just a preview, and it doesn't run continuously this year. Take some days off. Special deals are also being offered this year for admission. Well, confirmed and active coronavirus cases continuing to grow across Montana. Late this afternoon, Bighorn County reported 34 new positive cases. 21 of those just today and 13 from yesterday. This brings active cases there to 114, and now 10 of those residents are in the hospital tonight. Bighorn County is second only to Yellowstone County, which reported 40 new cases today. Yellowstone County now with 21 confirmed deaths after another Canyon Creek resident died last night. And Glacier County reported its first death today, so Montana heads into the weekend with a total of 46 confirmed COVID-19 related deaths. The debate over masks in Gallatin County turned into a virtual battle today as public comment took nearly 6 hours. The Gallatin City County Board of Health hearing from the public after an angry crowd shut down the first attempt last week. MTN's Cody Boyer sat in on the entire meeting and tells us what happened.
I'm extremely disappointed in all of our leaders for overreaching.
Now in two ways, face coverings are required in specific indoor public locations by Governor Steve Bullock's statewide directive and by a not unanimous vote by the Gallatin City County Board of Health. For the first hour, Health Officer Matt Kelly addressed the room and dozens of others listening online.
I've heard the term criminal negligence. I've heard worse things that I won't mention here.
From new surveillance testing for asymptomatic cases at MSU to the other vote which passed, extending self-isolation for close contacts or confirmed cases, Kelly walked us through slides, eventually leading to item number 1, face coverings.
This virus has killed 141,000 Americans. Some may seek to minimize or marginalize that fact. I will not.
Seth Walk, MSU Associate Professor of Microbiology and Immunology, detailed the science behind masks, how they stop virus-carrying droplets from spreading. But when the microphone opened for public comment, it stayed that way for hours.
Matt Kelly stated there are documented cases of asymptomatic transmission. Where is your evidence? You have failed as a Board of Health. There are studies you need to take a look at.
The majority of more than 40 were against masks. That included Board of Health member Joe Skinner after public comment.
I think voting to pass this local rule will only drive a wedge further into the division.
Several, like Elizabeth Wolf, were for.
I understand that not everybody can wear one. There are allowances for that, but that doesn't mean that the mass majority should not be wearing them.
Chair Becky Frank says more than 2,000 public comments came by email, adding most supported masks, including having kids K through 12 wear them. A divided line that Kelly says has become a difficult topic for both sides.
I am worried about our ability to do it. There are not very many options.
In Gallatin County, Cody Boyer, MTN News.
Well, Kelly says it was also made clear that whether this passed or not, Governor Bullock's order is still in effect. The board also voted to extend the self-isolation period for those infected or close contacts by 90 days. After weeks of promising updated guidance, the CDC has come out with its recommendations for local schools to safely reopen. Natalie Brand has more details from the White House.
The new CDC guidance for school reopening says a key consideration for administrators should be the spread of COVID-19 in communities.
It is our firm belief that our schools are essential places of business, if you will, that our teachers are essential personnel.
The guidelines recommend keeping students in pods and having teachers stay with that same group. They also advise keeping broader recommendations such as social distancing, face masks, and hand hygiene. The CDC notes the virus poses a relatively low risk to school-aged children, but health officials concede there is still a lot that is unknown.
We certainly know from other studies that children under 10 do get infected. It's just unclear how rapidly they spread the virus.
While President Trump has pushed for schools to fully reopen in the fall, he's now acknowledged that districts in hot spots may need to delay, saying that will be up to governors.
But the president is still pushing Congress to tie school funding in the next COVID relief bill to reopening.
If schools do not reopen, the funding should go to parents to send their child to public, private, charter, religious, or homeschool of their choice.
The White House and Senate Republicans have yet to announce a deal on the new bill.
Those discussions are still ongoing, and I'm not going to get in the middle of the negotiation, other than to say our priority right now is we feel it's very important to address extending those unemployment insurances.
The extended unemployment payouts are set to expire this weekend. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says he expects to announce the Phase 4 coronavirus relief bill next week. All right, turning to Chief Forecaster Bob McGuire. And Bob, we sure are glad to see that weekend get here.
Yeah.
How's it looking?
Well, a lot of folks are going to go to the fair maybe this weekend, and let me show you, it's time for that. And here's what we have for tonight. Yeah, it's not a bad night. We had a couple of showers come near us, so that's what's in there for the overnight forecast. But 61 degrees for the overnight low tonight. Then tomorrow, yeah, it's a 20 to 30% chance for a thunder shower in the afternoon, but the high temperature is still going to be very comfortable, about 84 degrees. Then on Sunday, look at that. You can't beat this. Mostly sunny skies on Sunday. It'll be 87 degrees. And then after that, we'll probably see temperatures start climbing back up into the 90s early next week and have those 90s continue right into Friday of next week. Probably wind up with about 97 degrees by next Friday, a week from today. Anyway, we'll have the rest of your forecast coming up in a few more minutes. Russ?
All right, thank you, Bob. One of the sweetest harvests is officially underway in western Montana, flathead cherry season. Monson Fruit Company Field Representative Brian Campbell says picking will start Saturday, with peak harvest expected around August 3rd. The cherry grower cooperative manages 80 flathead orchards, which is roughly 500 acres of cherries. Campbell says this year's crop will be lower than years past, expecting 60% of last year's haul, which brought in some 2 million pounds of cherries. Despite the lower crop outlook, Campbell says this year's fruit is in excellent condition, due in part to a low crop of cherries in Washington. He adds the demand for Montana cherries is higher than usual this summer.
Apparently, they're moving a lot of cherries out of grocery stores, and the supply is kind of low. The quality of the fruit is excellent this year, and the demand for Montana cherries is unusually high.
Well, Campbell says this year's harvest is starting later than years past. He expects it to run through August 12th. A stunned silence on the MSU Billings campus. That's how one administrator describes reaction to yesterday's sudden announcement that Chancellor Dan Edelman is stepping down. Edelman is leaving his post to attend to a serious medical condition. Provost Melinda Arnold says the chancellor made an impact that will be remembered for a long time, always with the focus on students. She says Edelman will be greatly missed, but that they will, in her words, marshal on.
We have a strong team, and I think I think Dr. Edelman should be recognized for that as well. He built a strong senior administrative team who are solid and we're stable and we're moving forward. School starts on August 19th and we're ready to go.
Arnold says she's confident that Edelman's replacement will also be someone who meets the needs of the students and the community. Still ahead on the MTN 10 o'clock news here on Q2. Thanks to one local business, students get a leg up as they prepare to head back to the classroom. We'll explain. And in sports, a decade-old tradition revs up in Billings. Decades old, I should say. Scott breaks down the Great American Championship hill climb. That's coming up in just a bit.